Hey Whittians, I got an awesome video in store for you this evening. I have a 92mm AIO that we are going to be throwing in this Acer, and it is going to be so freaking awesome. I mean, really awesome. The temps are pretty good on it too. I originally did have this Noctua in there for comparison, so I did compare these two. It did actually beat this. Of course, you'll have to wait to the end of the video to see our numbers, but other than that, I'm going to pop over to the on-screen really quick, but this is the type of numbers you're going to see with the stock heatsink. As you can see right now, our CPU is running 83 Celsius. Our GPU is 66 Celsius. Just a little bit ago, we were at 89 Celsius. That is way too hot to be running a gaming PC. Of course, I do have everything out on the table that you are going to need. You see the AlphaCool AIO that does not come with a fan, so you're going to have to order a Noctua 92mm fan, which I have two here, which are going to both be on there. All this stuff will be linked down in the description down below. I personally like MasterGel Pro version 2. If you cannot get that, the next best thing is going to be Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut. This stuff is pretty awesome. Of course, you are going to want a PWM three-way fan splitter. One of these guys is going to have 4 pins. The other two are going to have 3 pins. Of course, this is how we split in our pre-built computers. Of course, I got all the hardware out here. You're going to need some screws out of the Intel bag for the AlphaCool, and you're going to need the longer screws to face through to grab onto your radiator. Of course, I already have a fan pre-installed on here. If you watch my TG Victus video, you can see how to install the fan on here. It's pretty easy to do, but I'm not going to go over that again. This is an Intel CPU that's in here already, so I already have the Intel bracket snapped onto here. In that video, I also show how to install the bracket on here as well. So if you're wondering about that, I'm just cutting to the chase, and that's where we're going. Of course, I am just going to cut right to the chase. I'm going to have the PC unplug the side panel off, and that's where we're going to start this upgrade. After we do the upgrade, I will run over the stress testing numbers we did, and the gains and losses that we had, and the pros and cons about doing both types of coolers, either doing an air cooler or an AIO. Personally, I like the AIO because it just looks cool, but both technically will work. All right, guys, stick with me and let's get everything rocking and rolling.
All right, guys, we're going to begin by removing these Phillips screws in the rear. There are 4 fan screws, and you can, of course, just remove them and put them off to the side. We will not be needing these. And then, of course, I am going to end up removing the GPU, or I did remove the GPU already, just for ease of showing you guys this installation. You don't have to remove the GPU. And, of course, we are going to unplug the PWM connector that's in here. You'll see that here in a little bit once we remove this fan. So, of course, go ahead and remove the fan, and it's clipped up towards the top. Go ahead and unsecure the wire, and then unplug the PWM fan header. We'll use the same spot for one of our other fans later in the install. We are going to be using our dual Noctuas. Next thing we do is we're going to unplug our Intel stock cooler, and now we're going to unscrew it. Go ahead and just keep unscrewing until the cooler comes free. And one good tip about removing a CPU cooler is always pull straight up. It's mainly a thing for AMD, but it's also a good practice just to get in the hand of. Right here you can see we're going to start cleaning the CPU. You want to clean the CPU because if you don't, you're going to be a scrub, and it's like going out in public in your PJs with not taking a shower in 2 weeks. So, of course, we're going to apply some new thermal paste here. Don't verge this. I am being kind of generous with it, but go ahead and apply your thermal paste. You don't have to spread it out evenly. The cooler should do that for you. And of course, normally I'd install the radiator first, but because we're going to be dual stacking fans, we are going to install the cooler first, because the radiator is actually going to come over the top of 2 screws on the left side. So it kind of actually made it simpler doing it this way, but it works. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do some time lapsing quick here, but go ahead and tighten all those screws down. Also, you want to make sure the nut is on that screw. So there's a nut, a washer, spring, and then of course the screw that comes with the AlphaCool kit. I really like this kit. Like AlphaCool, they even added extra screws and stuff. I mean, they knocked it out of the park here. Alright guys, you're going to want to start tightening the screws down on the water block, and you're going to want to use a square pattern. What I mean by that is you pretty much follow the pattern that I'm using on the screen here, but you pretty much keep crossing, and you want to evenly turn each screw the same amount until they're tight. There's a very good reason for this, because it applies even constant pressure to the thermal paste and the ISH, and that is going to give you the best results for cooling. And then the next thing we're going to do here is we are going to start to install the radiator. It's really hard to install the radiator in here because we're dual stacking fans. One thing I will say is once you get 2 screws started, it makes it a lot simpler to get the rest of the screws in. Of course, with the radiator being the way it is, the screws, there's paint on the radiator and it gets in the screw holes, so it might be kind of hard when you're starting, so you might have to kind of crank on it a little bit. Of course, if you have to Superman it, stop, and just pull the screw out, it's going to make it a lot easier. If you don't strip the radiator or the screw out, it's going to make it for a lot simpler install. And of course, right here, we do have to plug in both of our fans and our AIO water block. So one of our fans is going to go straight to that PWM plug that we pulled from the stock fan, and then we're going to plug our pump and our other fan into the three-way splitter that we already had installed here, because I still have that AlphaCool fan put in the front of this case. I just had the Intel heatsink in here to do some thermal testing. Having that AlphaCool fan in the front did lower the temps by 5 to 7 C. It was pretty neat to see. And of course, I'm replacing the GPU just because, why not? I had to take it out just to get you guys a better view. And yeah, we're going to go over the benchwork results and see how this thing dunked hard on its stock brethren of a cooler. I was really shocked. The differences are enormous.
Guys, I got a surprise for you. I was just as shocked as I was with the Victus, but this thing really knocked it out of the park. We're going to go to the on-screen really quick here. And if you look, 3D Mark Time Spy stress test will not run it at 100%. I'm running OCCT in the background. That's what's got the CPU at 100%. But of course, what's stressing our GPU is 3D Mark Time Spy. And if you see, we're only running 60 Celsius. If you look at this line, it's pretty straight, like 60, 63 Celsius. I mean, really. And the biggest difference that I'm seeing versus stock, average 79 and was maximum of 87. And our AIO max 62 and our average was 57. With our max average difference, that's a 27 Celsius difference with the max and a 22 Celsius difference with the average. I mean, holy crap. Of course, I did double stack Noctua fans on here. The grill's a little bit different than some of the other PCs, so it helped with the airflow. But other than that, guys, this is the upgrade to do if you want this PC to last and last a long time. God, I'm so surprised. It shocked me when I seen the numbers. I'm like, that can't be right. I need to rerun it. So, of course, I reran a 4-hour stress test just to make sure I'm, not losing my freaking nitwitty mind. Anyways, guys, let's get this tech done with nitwit, and let's nitwit our way done. Sorry, I'm just clowning out, guys. Oh, I have everything out on the table because this is what the AlphaCool comes with. This is a Thermal Grizzly and, of course, our iFixit kit. Really, these are the tools you're going to want. You're going to want to put Thermal Grizzly on there. No offense to AlphaCool. Thermal Grizzly just performs way better. The first stress test I did with this had some really funky results. I don't know why, but I was using the AlphaCool thermal paste. I'm not sure if they had a batch that didn't mix right. Usually AlphaCool, I've ran them in other PCs with their radiators and tubing and fittings. They are phenomenal. So I'm not sure what went on here. Hey, things happen. They probably have a third party that makes their thermal paste anyways, and they order it in. I don't know. I'm not their company. But I'm going to have to say stay away from their thermal paste because it kept me up to 4 a.m. last night, and I'm not very happy about it because it drove me nuts with figuring out why my AIO cooler wasn't cooling my processor. Other than that, I am going to be doing more with this awesome Acer Nitro 50. I'm going to be putting GPUs in. We might upgrade the CPU if we get enough people wanting to see that, and maybe we'll max out the RAM if we get enough views on this video. But yeah, that's where everything's heading, guys. I'm Tech Nitwit, and I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I am out, y'all.